Hey everyone, I'm Pindi, like Lucas just introduced me, and I'll be giving you a talk on the audacity to be a woman in tech. I know it sounds very hard. I'm gonna go hard on y'all, but no, I won't. I'll take it easy. But as you can see in my theme, that I use the Among Us game, if any of you know, because it seems as a woman we are the imposters when it comes to being in the tech industry. What I'll take you through today, what I'll be talking about more is the lack of women in tech, because let's be honest, there is not enough of us. The audacity to be a woman in tech, because yes, we're here to stay and we're bringing in more. And then lastly, it will be why more women in tech, because not just because we're awesome, but obviously there's more reasons why we need more women in tech right now. So this year was actually my first job in tech, like real job, if I can say it like that, because I am currently an intern. And in my excitement, I'm getting my bearings around what's happening and all these things. And I remember introducing myself to a male colleague. And as I was going in to say, I'm a developer also, and he just, with this dumbfounded look, just cut me off and was like, why are you not a PM? And it just took me back, and I was like, "Oh wow, okay." Like I've finally come into the industry itself, and what a male colleague would associate me being there is that I'm a PM. No offense to PMs, they're awesome, and I love it, but it just showed me how much women in this industry are not enough, and even people in the industry itself are still trying to get used to women being in different roles in tech. And if we just look at some of the statistics that we have, it says that in the workplace, there is a 5-to-1 ratio for men to women. And I myself, when I got into my first team in BBD, I was actually in a team with approximately 15 devs, and I was the only girl. And yeah, it was very jarring, and I was taken aback a bit, but the guys are good, but it did hit in a certain way that, oh wow, I am the only girl and I'll probably have to represent. And people, every time you walk into a room, it's like, oh, okay, that's the girl right there. And then another statistic that I want you guys to know about is, like, globally, women in tech related jobs only hold 24%, as opposed to the 76% of men in this industry. And it just goes to show that, we have a lot of work to do to not only inviting women, but also allowing women to be a part of this space. And just talking about the audacity to be a woman, there are so many challenges that not yeah challenges that we go through, but also things that we have to internalize and understand to be able to become comfortable in where we are in our careers. First one being, we are atypical for tech. When it comes to women, not generally, people do not associate these careers or being in this industry with a woman. In the late 80s, the nerdy type of guy was the one who was associated with being in tech. And we can still see it even in pop culture. And all these things, they accumulate. So when people see you, they wouldn't recommend you for a career in tech. And that's one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of women in tech. And so those you actually do see here have overcome this thinking of saying, oh no, it's just a male world there, you don't have to go there, things like that. We are actually, breaking through and saying, oh, we don't care that you think this is a male world, we're gonna go in it also. Number two is being an outlier. In most places, like most meetings that I've gone into, it's either I'm the only girl or one of the few girls. It's almost as if you're walking into the wrong bathroom every time you go into a meeting or a stand-up. So that's one of the things that you have to be comfortable with, knowing that as a woman in this tech industry, you're going to be alone most of the time. Well, not alone, but you're going to be the lonely woman there, having to represent and having to also, stake your claim and being known and all those things. Number three is internal and external pressures. Being an outlier, obviously, you also put on this internal pressure on yourself to try and prove yourself, because you're like, you know what, I have to represent. I'm a girl. I don't want, to to not perform to a certain level, and then the next time they're like, maybe we don't want a lot of females coming in because we've seen what the last one did. So you yourself put pressure to try and perform or outperform some of your colleagues because you are the only female there or one of the few. And also you get you're more prone to have imposter syndrome because you're constantly questioning, am I in the right space? Like, is where I'm at right now really conducive to where I'm trying to go? And then external pressures. Actually, I remember last week, Miss Charlene Cook, who shared a story of how when she got engaged, she was approached by her manager, and he asked her that, okay, now that you're engaged, and he's probably thinking about the future. He's like, so what are your career plans now, that things are about to change? And she gave a bomb answer and said, I know my career plans are still the same. Just because I'm going to get married and probably have children doesn't mean now it's going to hinder my whole career and all these things. So there are external pressures where managers and leaders or even colleagues put on females because we have apparently different things that we'll go through in life. And then lastly is lack of representation. We have a lot of big names in tech, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and all those things. And I want you to think right now of one big female that in tech that you're like, yeah, that maybe two or three. Just try in your head and try to name off any big female figure in tech that you know of. It's very hard, even for females in the actual tech industry. It is hard for us, honestly, to think of big female leaders in tech because there's not a lot of representation. Most of their careers or most of their achievements are not as broadcasted as our male counterparts. And if we do not have proper representation, it's very hard for even females outside of the industry to want to come in because they don't see themselves. They don't see a lot of us here. And they're like, why would I put myself through that if I know I'm not going to get far anyway? So just to help you out, I just put in some faces that I've seen that inspire me, of trailblazers of women in the tech industry. Susan Wojcicki, she is the CEO of YouTube currently. And fun fact, Google actually has its beginnings in her garage, which is totally awesome. It's a story that everybody should hear about. And then there's Ubaratang Mia, who is the founder of Girl Hype here in South Africa, who also saw that, there's not a lot of females in tech, even in South Africa itself, being not that big of a country. And she is in this organization of Girl Hype. She's helping females, both women and girls, to be able to realize their dreams in the tech industry. And then lastly, we have Sheryl Sandberg, who's the CEO of Facebook. She actually has a book and an organization called Lean In, which inspires women to lean in or to go after their dreams. And because we're in such male-dominated spaces, we tend to lean back and let them take the lead because, of course, there's a lot of them and they're ambitious and they want to do all these things. But she encourages women to lean in also, to want to be a part of this space, to want to break through and leave all these challenges aside and to break them and to go forward. And then why more women in tech? Because we're awesome, full stop, that's it. But then there's more reasons than that. First of all, more women in tech equals more women in tech. It's like they say, the prize of the pie eating contest is more pie. So when women come into tech, that will attract more women. That will show more women that this is a safe space that they can be able to have amazing careers in, where they'll have fairness and where they'll be able to be prized. So the more we allow more women to come into this industry and attract more women, more women are gonna want to be here. And then secondly, shaping the future without bias. We are constantly being told tech is the future, it's the virtual, everything is going virtual, it's the internet, it's the cloud. So wouldn't that be fair or logical, just so that this future is being shaped without bias, like having both opinions of males and females? Plus, females hold the buying power globally, so it would make sense for us to have more females to be able to contribute in tech. And then more revenue. it's statistically proven again that a more diverse organization has more revenue than an organization with either gender. So it's not only good for the females to be in tech, but also for the organizations themselves. And then lastly, the stats show a clear need for women. Like we need more women. There is allowing more women is also going to allow for a broader and wider pool for talent and for different perspectives. So we just need to be able to just open our minds and see that, we have a lot to contribute. Lastly, while women is not enough, we need to keep adding women. I know for myself that at first it was a bit like jarring, and I was taken aback that, oh snap, yeah, like I'm going into a space where there's not a lot of us, but the women that I have seen in, let's say, BBD, the wonderful girls from the grad program. Melissa is going to be talking next. Miss Charlene Cook, who spoke last week, they have shown that, what, we have a role to play here, and we are amazing, and we have a lot to contribute. So I know that as it is Women's Month and we're celebrating women, we can do more. We can be able to invite, to share, and to allow women to be in the tech industry. And thank you so much for listening to my talk. Hope you have a great afternoon.